linear inequalities. So we would just simply solve and find x. I'm rearranging, bringing all the x to left hand side and taking all the numbers to right hand side. 6 minus 2 is 4x, 9 plus 5 is 14, x is less than 14 by 4. Simplifying these, cancellation, that's 2 7 times and 2 2 times is 7 by 2 or 3.5. So x is less than 3.5. B part says write down the largest integer which satisfies this inequality. Realize that this is the same question, and if I would write the number line, this is my 0 for just reference, this is 3.5 and x is less than 3.5. It is not included and he is interested in integer. Integer is whole number, one thing, largest the second. So within this given number line or domain, the largest number is 3, which is value of x. Now this question is sometimes referred to as hit and trial question. It is given that n is an integer, keep that in mind, that's a whole number, and n is more than 1. So we get to know that integer, not a decimal, and more than 1, that's positive as well. Decide whether each statement in the table is true or false. For each statement, write true or false in the table. If you write false, give an example. So let's say I'm just going for that trial. N cube is greater than 1. I'm going to check it where n is always more than 1. So if I do 2 cube, that's going to be 8. 3 cube, that's 27. So yes, this is true. We just agree and that's it. Then 1 over n is greater than 1 over n square. So if I just try like 1 over 2 is greater than 1 over 2 square, and we definitely know the square number is always going to be more. So it is given this domain. So 1 by 2 is greater than 1 by 4, that's again true. Checking the third one, it says it is always odd. So I'm trying with 2 first, 2 minus 1 into 2 plus 3. That is 1 into 5 is 5. He said it's odd. Yes, that is odd. I'm making another attempt. I selected n is equals to 2. Now I'm using n is equals to 3. So that will be 3 minus 1 into 3 plus 3. So 3 minus 1 is 2. Already if we are multiplying anything with 2, that would be even. So this is not odd. So it is false. It is not always odd. So if that's false, he said give an example. So we say n is equals to 3, which trial we just made, and 3 minus 1 into 3 plus 3, that's 12. Question 3. Solve the inequality 18 minus 3x. Again rearranging. 18 is less than x plus 3x. So 18 is less than 4x. And dividing 4 on the other side is 18 by 4 is less than x. 2 9 times 2 2 times, so x is actually greater than 9 by 2, or we can write x is greater than 4.5. Wherever you can write the exact answers. B part says given that n is an integer where these are the inequalities. Now these are two inequalities. This is one sign, this is the other. So we first write one of these and then we write the next one. So I'm solving the left hand side, that is minus 10 divided by 3 is less than equal to n, and right hand side is minus 3 by 3. So n is less than minus 1 and n is greater than equal to negative 10 by 3. 0 for reference. This is minus 1 and this is minus 3.33 something. So it is more than this and it is less than this. And what does it say? Find the possible values of n. So more than 3.3 would be just minus 3 and minus 2. I cannot select 1 because there is no sign of equality and is just less than minus 1. Question number 4. It is given that 1 by 5 is less than n and n is less than 1 by 4. Write down a decimal value of n that satisfies the inequality. So 1 by 5 is already 0.2 and that's already 0.25. So you can write any value between these two. I'm writing 0.21. B part is just percentage. We'll solve it rather skipping that. Times 100. 8 times is 48. 8 into 10 is 80. So that's 80%. Solve this. Again, we rearrange. 5y minus 3y is greater than 12 plus 3. 5 minus 3 is 2y is greater than 15. Y is greater than 15 by 2, or y is greater than 7.5. Why I'm changing in decimals? Because in either case I'm getting an exact answer. If it would have been 10 by 3, I'll write it as fraction rather going for decimals. Again, we have two inequalities. The first one is minus 6 less than equal to 3x. So 3 divided on the other side is minus 2 is less than equal to x. And the next inequality is 3x is less than 6. 3 divided on right hand side gives us 2. So this is now minus 2 which is included, and that is positive 2 which is not included. Write down all the integers, only the whole numbers. Minus 2 is included, yes. Minus 1, 0, 1, and we cannot write 2. One more. So now first inequality is 13. We copy all of it, that is 7 minus 2x. Solving this, 13 minus 7 is less than minus 2x, and 13 minus 7 is 6 less than minus 2x. Now remember, whenever you divide with a negative sign, the sign of inequality will change. 6 divided by minus 2, sign change, so that's minus 3. So x is less than minus 3. Second part is 7 minus 2x. This was the first inequality, and now this is the second inequality. Less than 18, minus 2x is less than 18 minus 7, minus 2x is less than 18 minus 7 is 11. Again the sign changes, negative 11 by 2. So that's minus 3. Let this be 0, and negative 11 by 2 is 5.5, negative 5.5 for understanding. X is greater than this and x is less than this. And find the values of a and b. Okay, these were just the extreme values. So the lesser value is negative 5.5 and the greater value is minus 3. Question 7. Solve the inequality. 2 4 times is 8. 2 into minus x is minus 2. X minus 10. Rearranging. X, I'm bringing 10 to the side, taking x on the other side. So that's 18. 3x when divided by 3, 18 by 3 is less than x. 6 is less than x. So x is actually greater than 6. B part says find the smallest integer such that 3n is greater than minus 17. So smallest integer 3n greater than minus 17, n is greater than minus 17 by 3. Now we know that 18 by 3 is 6. So somehow it is more than minus 6. So any number more than minus 6, smallest possible, and more than minus 6 could be minus 5. Or in other words, if there's any confusion on deciding this minus 6, we can try 17 and 3. 3 5 times is 15, 2 is left over. So that's n is greater than 5 whole and 2 by 3. So again that is more than minus 5 and minus 5 point something. Understanding it on the number 9, this is 5 point something, and more than that would be minus 5, minus 4, minus 3, and out of these the smallest one is minus 5. And the questions would just repeat themselves. We've covered most of the type of the questions. This is a bit different. Every other type is covered. Write down one possible value of x that satisfies each inequality. So when I'm thinking about this, that's 2, that's 3, and if I have to write x between these two, I'm thinking of getting rid of the square root. I'm taking squares. This is 4, that's x, that's 9. Now realize that 2 square is 4 and 3 square is 9. And when I will take square root of these, that will stay within 2 and 3. So whatever number we select between 4 and 9, let's say 5. So square root of 5 will definitely be between 2 and 3, because square root of 9 is 3 and square root of 4 is 2. So you can write any number. I just wrote 5. You can write 5, 6, 7, 8. Any of these that is between 4 and 9. Then we are thinking about this number. Now it needs to be less than 0 and more than -1. And that's a cube. Now one would think that taking square or cube would increase the number, as we did in this second question, hit and trial, that square number is always greater than 1. That was greater than 1 because our domain was more than 1. In this case, n was greater than 1. But here you can see that is -1 and 0. One thing it is negative, the other thing it could be in decimals. 0.1 multiplied by 0.1 is 0.01. Decimal numbers, when they multiply with each other, they get even lesser. So x could be anything between -1 and 0. That would just satisfy. So I'm taking like minus, minus, and another minus. Minus 0.1, so that would be just 3 zeros, that is 0.001 with a negative sign, which is obviously between -1 and 0, so x could be negative 0.1. If there is any confusion in multiplying these, we can write 1 over 10 into 1 over 10 into 1 over 10 for 0.1 and definitely negative. So negative sign comes along with them. That's negative, negative, and negative. So this is giving me 1 into 1 into 1 stays 1. Denominator is 1000. So which is 0.001.